Hello, I'm Brian Rodriguez-Gonzalez. I'm going to be giving my speech 2, Informative for Communications 101. And these are my 5 live audience members. 4 and 5. And you have me from over here. Let me know. Imagine, if you will, waking up in the morning and not rolling over to check to see if anyone has contacted you. Imagine going through the rest of your day without knowing what your favorite influencer has had for breakfast or what The Rock is having for lunch. Today we have the power to connect to any part of the world all of the time. So it might be hard to imagine a civilization that thrives off of disconnection. Not just thrives, but seeks disconnection. They fight for isolation. I want to talk to you today about the Sentinelese and the fight that they've been having against connecting with us for the last 2 centuries. We will talk about who they are, the attempted contacts, and the protection set in place to protect their way of living. First, let's talk about the isolated tribe. To find them, we must take a trip to India. Off of the coast of Bangladesh, in the Bengal Bay, there is an archipelago known as the Andaman Islands. On the southern cluster of these islands, there exists North Sentinel Island. Here is where we will find our tribe. Since the discovery of this tribe in the late 1800s by English officers, they have remained mostly uncontacted by the outside world. Thanks to a handful of safeguarded trips by anthropologist Triloknath Pandit, we know that they are a hunter-gatherer civilization. Their diet consists of the vegetation on the island and the fish that surround them. Their tools include spears, bows, and narrow canoes which they use to wade around the waters and fish. They live in small hut communities and have harnessed the power of metalwork and controlled fires. In an article for Forbes magazine, Kiona Smith said that the Sentinelese are a smart, healthy, and strong civilization, and they have been for over 60,000 years. Although we only have record of them for the last 200, Survival International theorizes that they are descendants of the first humans to emerge from Africa. They came onto this island and isolated themselves and have been thriving there for over 60,000 years. Now that we know who they are, let's talk about the attempted contacts with this tribe. English colonizers, officers, anthropologists, and even misguided individuals have all attempted to make contact, however with very little success. An article published in the New York Times by Kai Schultz, Harry Kumar, and Jeffrey Gettleman talk about the tribe. One of the first recorded instances happened in the late 1800s. England had proclaimed the islands as their own, and in an effort to quote-unquote civilize them, they set up stations with officers to try and befriend them. Leading officer and self-proclaimed anthropologist Maurice Portman did such a thing, and in attempting to befriend them, he kidnapped 2 elders and 4 children. Sadly, the 2 elders had died from disease, and the 4 children, now carrying the disease, were let go into the forests of the islands. It is theorized that they brought back with them diseases that were unknown to the tribe and caused an epidemic. We jump ahead in late 2018 to talk about our next attempt at contact, when John Chow, an American evangelical missionary, came onto the shores of this island in an attempt to convert them to Christianity. He had paid $350 to fishermen to take him to the shores of Sentinel, and armed with a waterproof Bible, toys for the kids, and gifts for the adults, and support from his fellow missionaries, he attempted to convert them. Sadly though, 3 days after he was dropped off, the fisherman that had dropped him off found the tribe's people to be carrying his lifeless body through the sand. It's not much is known about those 3 days when John Chow was on that island, but it's known that the hostility of the tribe's people did not allow him to complete his mission. University Wire took a statement from the government officials that attempted to recollect his body, and they stated that the endeavor to collect it would cause more harm to the tribe's people and more needless deaths. With these grim tales of unsuccessful contact, there is an outlier. Journalist Swaminathan Natarajan, journalist for the BBC, writes about successful attempts to contact the tribe. As stated earlier, anthropologist Srinoloknath Pandit had several successful attempts between 1967 to 1997. In one of those attempts, he even exchanged gifts with the tribe and had a conversation with them. We don't know their language, but we attempted that talk. And that was the closest we had ever gotten to a full contact with them. Mr. Pandit said, "We are the ones who are trying to enter their territory. We are the aggressors here." We have talked about the Sentinelese and the attempts to contact them. Now let's talk about their protections. They are protected by the Andaman and Nicobar Aboriginal Rights Regulations established in 1956. Government officials have set up a 3-mile barrier around the island, which no one is allowed to enter through. They say it is important to protect this tribe, as they are the closest link that we have to our past ancestors. In conclusion, the Sentinelese have been fighting for isolation for over 2 centuries. We have attempted multiple contacts and failed throughout the years. Anthropologists say it is important to let them live their way of life, as we may cause more harm to them in our attempt to contact. So the next time that you're on YouTube searching for your favorite video, remember that there's a tribe out there that seeks disconnection. Here are my notes. Make sure they're in frame. And the back side of everything.
Okay.
And then the back side.
Okay.
And then turn around to show that all my audience members are here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No one's left.